Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yes, I am. So let me welcome everybody. It is 12:12, and it is time and it is time for yes. So we are here. It is Chat with Green Aggies, and we are doing something different today. So hopefully this will work. I am your studio host. I'm Paul Winsky with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension here in Harris County, and on the show floor of the TNLA Expo is Mengmeng Gu, Laura Miller, and Becky Bowling. So I am going to toss it over to Mengmeng and let her talk with some of the people that she has there. Mengmeng, all yours.
Okay, thank you, Paul. This is Mengmeng Gu. So we're starting at the entrance of the show floor right here, Parks and Patio. And we have a lot of people here. We've been working on this since Monday. And we have Anne, Heather, Joseph, Sam, Herman. So these are a few folks working on the Parks and Patio Task Force. And on this side, we have wonderful folks, Dr. Tim Chapman and his students. So first, I'm gonna ask Anne to give us a brief introduction of what Parks and Patio is. Anne?
Thank you, Mengmeng. Parks and Patio began 29 years ago as an idea of a beautifying spot on the show floor where the exhibitors could either loan material or donate it, and to beautify the show and showcase their materials in some place other than their own booth. And each year it just keeps bigger, it's getting bigger and bigger. And the students from one of the local colleges in Texas are the designers of the area, and then they come help implement it. And at some point when the show is over, all of the material goes to the schools. There are always two representative schools that obtain all the material, and they utilize it in their areas of wherever they choose to. So it's been a great boom to the show. We're one of the only trade shows in the country that does a volunteer project like this. It's a lot of fun, it's a lot of work, but it would be great people, and I think it's a real boom to the show.
All right, thank you, Anne, thank you. And Dr. Tim, do you want to say something?
No, we're just happy to be here. Our students designed and installed the Parks and Patio this year, and they are right here. I'll let them introduce themselves if they choose to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Kaylee. I'm a sophomore or a junior now at Sam Houston. Hi, I'm Megan. I'm the president of the plant club. Install the plant.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle Butler, and I'll be a junior this fall.
Hello, I'm Danielle Moya, and I'm a senior at Sam Houston State University.
Hi, I'm Rachel Sarles, and I'm currently serving as the vice president for our plant club here, and I'm a senior at Sam Houston.
And I'm Grace Dillon, and I'm a junior at Sam Houston.
Okay, Rachel has been on this project since the very beginning 2 years ago. Can you give us just a brief introduction of this year's theme?
Yeah, of course. Well, 2 years ago, we started this design and it got a little delayed just due to the pandemic, and we're finally getting to see it come to life. We started this install. The theme was superheroes. That's something that we really wanted to take to heart. As you can see behind us, we have the military, we have the police, we have the firefighters, and then on both sides, we have, of course, our medical staff that has gotten us through this pandemic. So this is something that we're all so proud of. I mean, my team is amazing. I couldn't have done this without my fellow Bearcats standing beside me. And I think that we really knocked it out of the park. We're really, really proud of what we did here. And we're really glad that we can honor everybody who's gotten us through the pandemic safely. So,
yes, thank you. Talking about heroes, Anne, do you want to mention something else?
Well, in the back of the display, we also wanted to acknowledge the Find Your Greatness of TNLA. And that is our history at the back of the display. The Texas is our standard thing to showcase at every show. And then on the right, we brought our pictures of past TAN chairman and past TNLA chairman, which have gotten us to the place of where we are now. From the beginning of TAN, actually TAN, the original organization started in 1935.
What does TAN stands for?
TAN was the Texas Association of Nursery.
Thank you.
And then TNLA is the Texas Nursery and Landscape Association, and that developed in the year 2000 when we joined forces with TALC, which was the Texas Association of Landscape Contractors, and we merged and became one big unit.
Sam, Joseph, Heather, and Herman, do you guys want to add anything? Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Well, we're so glad to have this play out here, because again, like what Anna's mentioned, is that it's just amazing of how it comes together. That's always been the challenge, is that the students make these designs. They actually put together a materials list, and that materials list goes out to the exhibitors that are coming to the show. A lot of times there's no guarantee of what we're going to receive. And so that's one good learning aspect, I think, with these with the students, is actually problem solving. How you deal with the material and the inventory that you actually receive and how you make it work. So, we can actually, maybe take a moment to walk around a little bit and take a look at some of these designs. And actually it came around together really, really beautiful this year. And it's just a great representation of the green industry that we have here in Texas.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. Sam?
Good.
You're good. Okay. All right. Now let's go to Laura. Let's go to Laura. Thank you all.
Okay, so we are going to switch over to Laura. Laura, it is all yours. Go for it.
Great. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Mengmeng. And I'm here at the RamPro booth, RamPro Farms, with Ken Howard. And Ken's going to tell you a little bit about RamPro. He's also going to show you a couple of things in the booth that he is excited about and wants to show off.
Welcome to Expo. We've got a great opportunity. We've had a great year this year, though Mother Nature did take us down a notch or two on tree losses. So we've got some opportunities going forward. And anyway, been in business since 1980 in Tyler, Texas. We do liner materials for growers in both flatted material and 3 gallons, which we are taking orders now. So plan ahead, get those orders turned in so we can get you covered. We also do 5 gallon, 10 gallons, and 30 gallons for retail and growers. So we got a few new items coming up that'll be ready in fall of 22.
Ooh, fall of 22. So Ken, I know you wanted to show us a couple of things. One of them is a live oak, and I'll get, let's see, I'm trying to show you all the tree. Let's see if I can get in there on the label.
The tree was discovered actually here in San Antonio, and it is done by cuttings. And we've got her crop down, just came in actually, and it'll be ready fall of 22 and some 5 gallons. And so we're really looking forward to it. It's a cross between a Virginian and a Fusiforma. So should be really, really hardy for us here in Texas, New Mexico, even some southern part of Oklahoma.
And one reason they selected this tree was they think it's going to top out at about 30 feet. So nice for smaller yards. Kind of like a lacy oak. It's a great size for many people's yards these days.
If you've seen the new yards, they're postage size. So we got to find something that's going to fit them better.
All right. And
Hey,
so here's one of my favorite things to talk about, desert willow. And this is a new cultivar of desert willow.
It's Sweet Bubba, and the color on this thing is freaking awesome. It's going to be really nice. Again, we will have that available in 5 gallons in the fall of 22.
Okay. And desert willows, I just last weekend went out to West Texas, and there were a lot of them out there blooming, lots of them blooming. This one has lots of buds and flowers on it. This one is
Bubba Jones.
Bubba Jones. Okay, so we're riffing on Bubba here. But as you know, Bubba's selected for its larger flowers. I'm sure all of these have larger flowers, and we're getting to a better and better growth habit on these guys. So that's a really exciting thing.
And I think they're going to be phenomenal for our marketplace, and I think you need to get your orders in.
Hey, Laura.
Yeah.
Laura, what was the cultivar name on that new oak? What was the variety name?
Joan Linetti.
Okay,
Yeah,
Leonetti.
Joan Linetti.
Okay.
Linetti, yes. And it's not totally new, but it's new for RamPro, and they're pretty excited about it.
Okay,
So
awesome.
anyway, all right. Well, I'm going to head on over to Native Texas Nurseries.
Okay,
So,
Mengmeng.
Thanks, Ken. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Mengmeng, it is all
Oh, look
yours.
who I see. Ooh.
So I'm here at Monteros Nursery. So Todd, it's all yours.
Hello, how y'all doing today?
Good, we're doing good. Let's go
Been
ahead.
a crazy couple of years, especially this year with the freeze. Business has been tremendous. Lost a lot of plants, but we got a lot of things that survived. Really did well, like the cherry laurel. It's compact cherry laurel, 24 inch box, been a really good seller. Normally mountain laurels are a big seller, but they took a hit. You can see this is a 24 inch box, usually about 6 feet tall. But we had to prune it back to 2.5 or so. And this is the only growth of here, but just really short supply on mountain laurel. That's usually the bread and butter. Things are a little different this year. Actually, right now everything is challenged. Doesn't matter if it's Cabernet or it's flying out there.
So Todd, any opportunities or challenges that you see in the business or in the industry?
Labor.
Labor. Okay, labor.
Yep, liners are in short supply, so there's
Okay.
going to be a few perennial crops will be kind of tight this year. But really, labor is a big factor in everything we do. So as long as you get more people back to work, we'll have it ready and ready to go.
What do you think? Why are we having this labor shortage? We don't want to get political here, right? We don't.
It's the only way to go. Partly COVID, partly government things. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, all right. Any other things?
Park Barbados are great
Okay,
sellers.
hold on.
Loving plant. Great blooms.
Show us the flowers.
Right up there.
Okay, all right.
And then always the shade trees. Be back here, all of it. 95-gallon Chinky Pin oak, Monterey oak, red oaks, live oaks, and cedar oaks.
Cedar elms.
Yep.
So these are some of your
Top sellers.
Top sellers.
Burr oak around there and a Mexican sycamore. And then some of the more tender items, probably froze a lot this year. The Japanese blueberry and the standard. People are replanting a lot of these. And then Awabuki by Barnum, Chingo by Barnum.
Okay, we have lost Mengmeng's connection. So Laura, if you are good, let's jump in with you.
Okay, I'm great. I'm here with James Flyler at Native Texas Nurseries. He's going to tell us a little bit about the nursery, show us a few things, and I'll let him talk.
Well, hi guys. I am with Native Texas Nursery. We are in East Austin on 40 acres. So a smaller-ish, native, primarily grower of trees, shrubs, perennials, vines, grasses. We sell to retail nurseries, landscape companies all over the state. I'd like to highlight a couple of our new trees that we're going to have available starting this fall that are really exciting, I think. The first one here is a Chilean mesquite.
See if I can.
Prosopis chilensis. We have these planted before the big freeze. They're beautiful standard single trunks. They all froze down to the ground, but have come back as these really nice multi-trunk specimens that you can kind of shape and contour to give a really nice finished look with them. So we're real excited for these. And also one we get asked about a lot is a big tooth maple that's going to be just right
I
over
do
here.
want to say that I ran my hand down this thing to illustrate that it's thornless. These are thornless mesquites. So that's one cool thing about them. All right, let's take a look at this pretty maple.
And here we have the big tooth maple, Acer grandidentatum, which I like for the fact that it's pretty much like a relic or a dinosaur from the last ice age. Found mostly in little box canyons in West Texas, where it gets a little bit cooler microclimate. Their feet grow in between the rocks where there's a little bit more moisture, a little bit more cool temperatures. But they've been really hard to find. This one's got a nice grasshopper munching away there. But
I'm going to show you that grasshopper. Jeez, y'all. It's enormous grasshopper.
You grow native plants, you get the whole deal. You have wildlife. There's no escaping it, and that's the appeal for it. But the big tooth maples, it's been really tricky to to get them in production. Seed collecting, stratification, what kind of water, what kind of soil, sunlight. We feel we finally cracked it, and we'll finally have some available on a regular basis, starting in these 30 gallons. Beautiful trees, beautiful fall color, cool plant with a history that goes back millions of years in the state and across the country, really. But we're really excited to finally have these available for customers.
Yep, that's great. And this is a great plant, hard to find. So I hope y'all can build your stock up and get it out there. All right, is Mengmeng ready to hit back, or
we shall see. Either Mengmeng or Becky, one or the other. Oh no, we've got the roving report. We've got Becky bowling now.
I was told that I was going to get to go by now.
No,
Well,
okay.
I am here at the Texas Superstars booth with some of our Texas Superstar Master Gardeners to kind of talk about what we're doing here. So this is Luke Kellogg, and then back there you can see Bill is hiding. There's
You will
Bill.
be on YouTube forever.
So tell us, what are you guys? How are you guys enjoying the show so far?
Enjoying it. I think it's great. Yeah. The beautiful flowers.
Yeah. So talk to us about some of the superstars that you guys brought along today.
I got the purple pepper one on the floor there.
Yeah. So we got an ornamental purple pepper. It's really beautiful.
You got some pentas?
Got some pentas. What's y'all's favorite?
I like the purple, the ornamental pepper. I think it's just absolutely, that purple is gorgeous. If you get enough of them together, it just has an absolutely beautiful display in the yard.
Yes, I agree. It's beautiful, and it's not something we want to eat, though, right?
No, probably not.
Awesome. So we've got some other booths here too. We can go on down here, and we've got Dr. Ong is not here at the moment, but we do have the plant clinic booth down here. Anybody that wants to come and learn about different diseases and disease management, we've got Courtney here sitting at the booth, getting to talk to everybody. So yeah, so we're excited to be here. We've got a lot of good AgriLife representation. So I will kick it back now. I see Laura's ready to go, so I'm going to kick it back over to Laura.
I think it's going to be all right. Thanks, Becky. We're going to go to Mengmeng. Mengmeng, you're up.
All right, thank you guys. And I am at Landmark Nursery, and I have Paul Lowry with us. Hey, Paul.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Very good, Paul. Well, tell us something about about the nursery, how you're doing in 2020, 2021.
We've had our challenges. We're through the pandemic. We were very busy, something that we did not think was going to be a situation that we were faced. We were essential workers because of agricultural, and we just had a record year the year before. And then with the cold weather, the freeze that we had in early 2021, we have been in replacement mode throughout the state of Texas. And now we're plant material is flying off the shelves. We have our challenges with trucking and with costs right now, and labor, of course, is a big issue. But we're nursery people. We adapt and overcome. So that's what we're doing right now.
That's awesome. Paul, do you have any plants that you want to show us, your top sellers?
Top sellers right now, of course, are the replacement plants. We have a lot of people sticking with Nandina that came through the freeze very, very well in 2021. So we're really showing, if you want to look here, we're really showing the Nandina line. A lot of new Nandinas coming out, Moon Bay Nandina, Nana Nandina. We're really happy with that. So that's what we're showing a lot at the show. I also have some native trees that we brought here for the state of Texas, sawtooth oaks, which we don't really see too much. This is it right here. It's got a really nice leaf to it. We're really pushing a lot of native trees that really did well through the freeze that we're seeing going on right now. So that's basically, we're showing those offerings to our customer. So that right there is really what we're pushing.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Paul. Any other plants? I think I really like the native plants, the sawtooth oak.
Yes. I have some new ones if you will follow me right over here.
Okay. So Paul is going to show us some new ones.
What we have right now is the purple pillar, which is the new Althea. We have them all different colors right now. Very popular. Almost the flower on this almost looks like it's fake. We've had a lot of movement on that. You can see that flower right there.
Okay.
Looks very tropical, which it's not a tropical plant at all. Had no problems with this through -2 degrees. So we're looking really forward to all those new items.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Y'all have a great day out there.
All right. Well, thank you.
Let's landmark.
All right. Let's kick it back over to Laura Miller. Laura?
Okay, great. I am here at Southwest Perennials. I'm here with Jerry Suka, and we are going to talk a little bit about what they've got going on here in the booth and all over the place. And Jerry grows a lot of our Texas superstars. He also grows a lot of the things we just saw in that booth. But here to chat with Green Aggies is Jerry.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jerry, and then I want to highlight a few things. We're a large, major supplier of all of our. We do plugs. We have 100,000 square feet of greenhouse, and we've been doing this for 20-something plus years. And they're very hardy, drought-tolerant perennials that we furnish to most of the growers who are even in the TNLA show here. We had a fantastic year with selling a tremendous volume of perennials, and we're very happy with the way it's gone in that. But again, we furnish most of the growers with all of our perennials. Now, start talking about some of the different perennials that we do in the booth. We do a lot of the superstars, which are like the Gold Star Esperanza, which is here, and you're gonna have to keep me going.
It's okay.
But we got Turk's Cap. We do a lot of Santalinas, Plumbagos. We're the major supplier on the Blackfoot daisies. Some of the new stuff that we're coming on with is the Calliope, which is the beauty berry. And here's another one of our superstars, the Lowry's Legacy, Luke Phylum, and that. We're also, when you start looking at that, we're a big supplier on the Scutellarias, the pink skullcap. We also do the dark violet. We play with a lot of the bulbines, Angaras, Salvia gregis. We do about 8 or 10 different colors. We do all bread and butter items. We don't do any named or patented trademark items. So, and that's what a lot of the people like, because they want the common everyday product that's very drought tolerant, resistant to insect disease, and it works out great. We do a lot of sedums, as far as low growing, and also the uprights like Autumn Joy, Autumn Fire, and that. Pretty much, if we like to be like a one-stop shopping center where people can get a little of this. We do about 360 different varieties and colors of drought tolerant perennials. We also throw in a few herbs into to the mix, but most of those are big volume numbers are in the rosemaries, the uprights, Tuscan Blue, Arp, and the trailing varieties.
Yeah, and rosemaries absolutely are great landscape plants for us here in Texas. And most of Texas, they're really excellent landscape plants.
Very excellent, because when you get into the times of the year whenever cities start imposing drought restrictions and you have to cut back on your watering, our plants tend to be fitting right into it. A lot of people want to love Blackfoot daisies, but they put it into an irrigated landscape, and I'll guarantee you they're going to die because they don't like the water. They like where they grow on hillsides and stuff where there's not any amount of water. But like Austin, San Antonio, they work great in because your sandy soils,
over limestone,
and stuff like that.
Yep. So Jerry, how did y'all come through the winter?
We had to buckle our belts up pretty tight in that. We had one of the 60,000 square feet facility that we were down without power for about 5 days in that. And then we were running on a little portable generator, switching around between heaters, and some of the crops that we do are grown completely in cold houses, so those wintered fine. It was just the big ones where we had stuff like the Gold Star Esperanza, and that got very close because we just barely squeaked by on that. But it was like about 5 days of sleepless nights to make it through. And we're waiting on our big, huge generator to come in to not go through that problem again. But after we came through that, business has been fantastic. We had a good 2020 year, even though with COVID, it seemed like people stayed at home, wanted to plant more plants, and the sales were just astronomical. This year we hit the freeze in that. It took us about 3 weeks or so to get back out of it. We were so backed up with our product, and thank goodness for our customers. They were most part they were considerate about what all was going on, and they worked with us, and we were able to work our way out of it. And that, to give you an example of our sales, we sold more between now and from January 1 to July 31st, and we sold all of last year.
Wow, that's really impressive, because for many people 2020 was a great year. So really that's very impressive, Jerry. And I know y'all worked really hard to get through the winter too, because it was a real challenge for everybody.
Very challenging.
Yeah.
And to give an indication, I've been talking with several people, but and different things, but even with orders, we have orders coming in already for fall and winter that we've never had before, and they're huge numbers. And so our trend, I think, with more people being at home and learning to be gardeners and that, and then loving what their fruit of their gardening has been, that we're going to still see a tremendous surge in this year, and I would hope into the coming year. Because what I've noticed over my time growing plants, that anytime we get into a situation where the economy gets depressed, plant sales increase every time.
So Jerry says, no matter what happens to the economy, plants are good. I like that. That's pure optimism there. So I like that a lot. Anyway, so I thank you a lot, Jerry. Is there anything else you want to say? Oh, no. Jonathan, I noticed, walked away. He didn't want to be on camera, but Jerry's son Jonathan is also his partner in the business. And
we're a family business, family-oriented business, and it's gonna stay.
It's gonna stay that way. It's very good. Thank you, Jerry.
Well, thank you for having us. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Laura. And we are going to kick it back over to Mengmeng now. Mengmeng, it's all yours.
Yes, I'm ready. Hey, everyone, I'm here with Brian Koba at the Creekside Nursery. So I'll let Brian to tell you a little bit about the booth they have this year.
Howdy. Well, the theme is superheroes and find your greatness. And, you know, I think all garden centers this year would say we've had to do extraordinary things to get plants back in this trade show after the freeze we had this year. We are here, we are full of plants, and we are excited to be here showing all the plants that we have. 2020, 2021 is challenging in many ways. With the beginning of COVID and the freeze and what have you, but our nursery industry has done very, very well, and we continue to keep growing and keep getting people plants that they're needing. One exciting thing Creekside did this year, we did venture out into the hemp market. We do grow hemp for CBD. We even expanded our hemp line to a CBD product, Supermom CBD. So we added a new line in 2020. Some exciting new product lines, as well as our everyday favorites of landscape plants that we continue to grow.
Can you show us some of the plants that you're showing here? Some of your top sellers?
I'll start here. Succulents are always great. This is a product line that we continue to grow and add more to every year. They're real popular with, apartment-like settings to townhomes to just about anything. we continue to add more every year and keep growing this product line. This is a great seller. I mean, all plants this year have sold well if you had it, but this line particularly is one that does do well and continues to do so.
Okay, cool. Succulents. Let's see. What else?
Well, we're known for a one-stop shop. So as you can see on our booth, we do have quite a few different types of plants. So we have a little bit of everything for your landscape needs, trees, shrubs, ground covers, to grasses, to the Arcugium that are hard to get right now, a little bit of everything. So we, you can plant the whole yard, the front and back with Creekside.
Okay. So Brian, what are some of the challenges and opportunities that you see in the industry?
Well, challenges are always keeping the youth involved and getting them more involved in our industry. I mean, this is one that it either appeals to you or it doesn't. So it's growing the people out of college or wherever they're coming from and getting them in the industry, and to get them as excited as we are to be here. So always filling the gap as people retire. We need to keep people coming up and getting in this industry. And challenges, there's always challenges. There's labor, there's all kind of things, but we always look for challenges. Challenges are how you find your greatness. You'll go ahead and see what it is and figure out a way to make it work.
Brian, well, let me ask you, where did you graduate from?
Texas A&M.
Yay! All right. Well, thank you so much, Brian. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Have a great show.
Thank you.
Now back to you, Laura.
Okay, Laura, it is all yours.
Thank you. I'm going to see you soon.
Okay. All right. I'm here at Berry Nursery with Jim Berry. So pretty excited to be here, and Jim's going to talk to you a little bit.
Giggle Maggies.
Yeah, and give you a little giggle.
Well, glad to have Laura here with me. We're at the Texas TNLA Expo in San Antonio, and thanks for wanting to talk to me. That's amazing. So what am I going to talk about? How much time do we have?
Well, you've got a few minutes, Jim. So try to hit the high points here.
Okay. All right. Well, let's start off with Hollywood hibiscus. It's a tropical group of hibiscus that I've been breeding for about 12 or 14 years. And I'm a grower first, so I wanted to create some hibiscus that didn't have bacterial leaf spot, that didn't have white flies, but also had really strong foliage and multiple branching. I wanted an exotic flower, and I wanted flower buds stacked on top of each other. The Hollywood hibiscus have lived up to my expectations. They're thriving in South Florida, the Caribbean, Hawaii, South Africa, Spain, pretty much all around the world where we have Hollywood hibiscus. This year, our new introduction is a pink called First Lady. Can we get over here and see First Lady?
Yeah, we can walk over here to see First Lady.
All right.
Let's see. We can pull her out there a little bit.
All right. Yeah.
Here she is.
Yeah. And the day I gave her the name, it was 100-degree heat, and the mother plant was just solid with these pink flowers. It's an extremely clean, fast-growing selection. I want fewer inputs on pesticides and fewer prunes, and I want more flowers delivered to the homeowner. So that's what Hollywood hibiscus should do for you. This is one that we introduced last year, Earth Angel. It is a clear white that has a little bit of pink on it. The foliage is like leather. So therefore, bacteria and fungus, they're not too fond of that thick leather. Now, let's go over here.
All right. I think we're going to look at some crepe myrtles, folks.
Yep.
Yep.
We introduced the Black Diamond Crepe Myrtle at this show in 2012, and it has been a collection that has made a mark in the market. The dark foliage. I've been breeding crepe myrtles. I felt like the original white could be improved. So this is a new introduction that is a Black Diamond. It is crystalline, and it will be more vigorous. It's really quick to recover, to have another flowering cycle. This is not a loropetalum. This is not a loropetalum. It looks just like a loropetalum, but it is, let's see, I'm trying to think of the name. Pavo pink crepe myrtle. It is a dwarf spreading type with crepe myrtle, loropetalum looking foliage. And it will not be as rangy as most loropetalums in the landscape, plus summer color.
Yeah, and loropetalums in our alkaline soils in Dallas-Fort Worth don't do extremely well. They often get a little iron chlorosis, so that's a great option. All right, so I know Mengmeng wanted to look at these other crepe myrtles, Jim, which we're gonna have to hit our way back in here to look at these speciosa hybrids.
I don't know. Look at these. Do you think the consumer might like these? We're sort of this is a sneak peek. They're black leaves. They're hybrid, indica hybrids of speciosum. They're quite spectacular. We're positioning them as a new tropical. In the tropical areas, there'll be a gigantic tree. In the zone 7 and below, they will freeze to the ground, but they should re-emerge from the roots. So it'll be a new way to understand crepe myrtles.
Yeah, and I think this is very cool because when I've been to like England or Michigan or any of those kinds of places, often people grow crepe myrtles that way.
Yeah.
But these will be fast because they're tropical. They'll be fast to get up and start blooming, and I think it's pretty exciting. They'll go in that, when we have our superstars, we have that category we call the temperennials or the perennials. The things that are really tropical plants, but you can use them as an annual, or they might be. These will be root hardy probably, so that they could just be like kind of Esperanza the way we use it. So it's pretty cool.
I want to show you one more thing.
One more thing, okay. It's a begonia.
It's a begonia. The begonias are trending in the market. What's special about this begonia? Well, it's bred for summer high temperature tolerance. And the leaves are real thick. There's a collection called Crown Jewels, and I'll lift another one. The flowering is adequate, but the foliage is the point of interest year round. 2 years ago, this selection called Joyful Jasper was in the Pennsylvania plant trials, 914 entrants. This was the #1 rated in that plant in that trial, which is amazing to me. But this is Joyful Jasper. I like to put it in a mixed container with a gardenia or canna or cordyline. And let me show you another color. So we have shades of coral, we have the maroon, we have green with maroon. So the main feature of these begonias is the heat tolerance and the coloration of the patterns on the foliage. So that's about it, Laura.
That's super cool, Jim.
Hey,
and I know
one last message. Get vaccinated.
Thanks, Jim. you can see why we love this man. He always has everything we need to hear to say. So I appreciate it.
Thank you, Laura.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate
All right.
it.
Well, thank
Aggies.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Laura. Mengmeng. Let's see if Mengmeng. Here she is. Mengmeng, it's all yours.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. So I'm here with Patrick Anderson. Patrick, tell us a little bit about yourself. I actually seen you when you were doing education at the TNLA Expo, the education session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my name is Patrick Anderson. I'm an arborologist with Rainbow Tree Care Scientific Advancements, which is a made up word. I do technical support throughout the country on tree and shrub care issues, and Rainbow produces plant health care products for the green industry, specifically tree care companies and landscape maintenance companies. And one of the things that we work on is plant growth regulators, and again, specifically plant growth regulators for tree or landscape maintenance companies to reduce labor. And
how do you reduce labor.
So what you're doing is, with our product, you spray it on the plant. It reduces the amount of the hormone that's responsible for cell elongation and expansion. So you actually have a plant that's still growing. It's just not getting as large. And actually, I don't know if we want to look down here. So we have a plant that was treated with a plant growth regulator. You see it's nice dark green. You can see how the internodes are more compact versus behind it, one that wasn't treated with a plant growth regulator. And so you can see it's a little paler green. And of course, we have longer internodes. So by keeping the plant, by applying a plant growth regulator, keeping it from getting as large, you don't have to spray as often. So you reduce labor in the landscape. And of course, you know, if you read our industry articles, one of the biggest issues that our industry is having, of course, is finding quality labor. So this allows you to maintain your landscape, keep the plants looking green and really, really pretty while stabilizing your workforce. So not needing as much labor and pruning.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Patrick. Is there anything else that you want to tell us about, like some of your challenges, opportunities during this pandemic?
So, you know, last year was a big challenge, obviously getting out. One of the things that we like to do is we like to get out in the field and work with our clients. And again, especially with something like a plant growth regulator, there's a lot of nuance to applying this correctly. So we were able to really pivot and create a huge training kind of curriculum, all virtually based. So we're able to create a lot of videos around treatment, not only of shrubs and plant growth regulators, but our other protocols, you know, things like emerald ash borer, spotted lanternfly, other issues throughout the country. And then we're able to do what I was calling a virtual studio outside. So we were actually doing trainings live on trees outside. My backyard has trees that have been treated multiple times, just water, of course, but to show how to successfully treat these plants in the landscape with our products and protocols. So,
all right. Well, thank you so much, Patrick. Are we following each other on Twitter?
I think we do follow each other. At least I follow you on Twitter. I don't know if you're following. That'd be an honor. So, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Patrick. Have a great show.
Thanks.
All right. I am going to my next stop, which is Peerless Farms. Let's see whether I can find Kevin at the Peerless Farms.
All right.
So is Kevin here? Is Kevin here? Where is Kevin? Oh, Kevin is playing hide and seek with me. So this is Kevin Grubbs at Peerless Farms. Kevin, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Myself, well,
yes.
I've been here in Texas for 40 years now in the wholesale business, 3 years at Peerless Farms, and loving growing trees now. This is what we do.
I actually met Kevin when we both work on the TNLA education committee.
Correct.
Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
how many years ago was that? 5? 6
don't remember. Yes. And Kevin, you are going to be TNLA the next chair. So this is our future leader, top leader of the Texas Nursery and Landscape Association.
Yes, thank you.
Well, tell us a little bit about this farm and the plants that you guys are showing here.
Sure, Peerless Farms. We are kind of a niche grower for trees, trying to keep the line in sort of the Edwards Plateau mix. So San Antonio, Austin, and a little bit north is our wheelhouse where we like to grow trees for. We're on about 200 acres out in Bigfoot, Texas, which is about 40 miles south of San Antonio here, and deliver all over the state. But like I say, try to stick to that central state mix.
Okay. Any plants that you? How big your some of the trees are showing?
Big, yeah, sure. Well, we get up to 36 and 42 inch boxes. Is our largest sizes. If we are walking, are we walking?
Yeah.
This is some of our largest containers here that we still utilize the cedar boxes for. Just great root growth. And having a tree that big, we really enjoy having the wooden box for those. Anything smaller than a 36 and a 42, kind of getting back down into the plastic then at that point. But it's great fun. Now we're starting to add some shrubs into the mix. I'm doing some 15-gallon shrubs that also apply themselves to the same region. Lots of succulents, agaves, yuccas, desert plants, and likes. So.
Okay. All right, challenges, opportunities?
Challenges. Certainly Winter Storm Uri has been the challenge, I think.
Yes.
That's probably going to last for about 2 or 3 years, I would imagine, just because of the supply chain being interrupted. Trees that I needed to bring in to ramp up will be behind. Yeah, so it's going to take a while to catch up. That was a big interruption. Of course, COVID, but we worked right through all of that, and luckily,
yes.
DMD Central.
We're essential. We're essential. Yes.
Or expendable. I'm not sure.
Essential.
So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Kevin, thank you so much, and look forward to your leadership.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure seeing you.
All right. Thank you. Hey, Paul, I'm going to walk to the next. Booth. So as a person like you, viewing this from a distance, would you tell our viewers, what's your impression? What are some of your impressions of the trade show that you have seen so far?
Well, I think the biggest thing is it is just great to see that the show is occurring. I was talking to Laura a little bit before. She said it sounded like that, or it looked like there was pretty good foot traffic out there. So that is good. So the, growers and producers, there are people out there looking at product. And as you can see, the trend is everybody's buying because things have to be replaced. And as Kevin was just saying, probably a 2 to 3 year lag it's going to be in order to get caught up with that product. So it's going to be interesting to see how everything will play out moving forward. But it's good to see some new products, just to see the people out there. And so it really just, from the commercial side of things, it gets you excited because things are moving forward, and that's really what we want to see. So that's the main talk. So let's see. We are waiting for here we go. All right, Mengmeng, it's all you.
All right.
Say when you're ready.
We're ready.
Okay.
So I'm here with Nicholas Sadden from Berry Growers. Nicholas, first tell us a little bit about yourself.
Terrific, thank you. So my name is Nicholas Sadden. The job I do for Verdi Growers is I'm the spokesperson for the company. I also work in marketing, and I also work in new plants. So I have the best of all worlds, and we're thrilled to be here with Mengmeng. We haven't seen each other for a couple of years, 3 years, something like that. So it's really fun. So one of the questions that was put to me is how is the business? So the business is terrific. The struggle is managing the business today. There's such a demand from all quarters on our nurseries or farms. We have farms in Oregon, California, Texas, and then down to Florida as well. So we grow a huge amount of plants. We're very excited. The business is so strong. Hard not to disappoint customers sometimes because they don't get everything they want. So we grow plants down to a small kind of 4-inch size to a big tree like this Trinity sycamore here, which is probably in maybe a 200-gallon size container. Lots of really interesting plants in the booth. So let's look at one of them right over here. We'll go this way. This is a really cool albizia, right, called Summer Chocolate. What's really fun about it is it has this beautiful chocolate-colored leaves. It does beautifully in a high heat area. Has a nice rosy pink flower in the summertime. And then the plant I'm most excited about, this is a new callistemon or a bottle brush. And bottle brushes can get big, they can overtake the area. This one is called Slim. It's a new introduction from Australia. It only is about 3 to 3.5 feet wide, gets to about 18 feet high, and has flowers which are like that round and they're about that big. Every hummingbird in the neighborhood will absolutely love these. They can be used as a single specimen or a triangle of 3, or you can use them as a hedge. They make a great windbreak as well. Let's have a cordyline. There's a lot going on with cordylines, especially in the tropical market. This is one called Torbay Dazzler. It's a variegated variety. So it has, when the leaves first come out, they're kind of like a light pink color. They're like a light pink color with a nice soft green center and like a chartreuse yellow outer. Very, very cool indeed. But let me show you a plant that originated from Japan that's being very successful in Texas. This is a really killer plant. Some years ago, I had the good fortune to work with the Walt Disney Company and their primary landscape architect, whose name was Bill Evans. And at the time I was working with another company, but we brought to America a whole group of Japanese evergreen trees. And this is a selection of one of them. This is an Elaeocarpus decipiens. The common name is a Japanese blueberry tree. This variety is called Morning Sun. And this was a chance selection. The reason it's called Morning Sun is that the new growth is this wonderful burgundy red color. So as the plant pushes in the early spring, you've got this great new red foliage. The plant probably gets to be about 25 to 30 feet high, probably quite wide, about 20 feet wide, and is evergreen. Very, very handsome plant.
Wow, I like this plant. And in the fall, do they get that bright red foliage?
No, so that's a great question. What will happen through the year? Through the year, they change their foliage, and that's the color of the foliage. All the foliage goes to this like amber red color, and they'll only lose about 10% of their leaves on an annual basis. So they keep regenerating. So it's always evergreen.
It's always evergreen, but always it will have this kind of red leaves.
There'll always be some of
the year.
Yep, there'll always be some of those leaves on there. And then it's probably a USDA zone 8, something like that. Okay. So, you know, it needs a little bit of protection in the colder areas.
Okay, all right.
So it's really fun.
All right.
Let me show you a brand new program.
This is also pretty nice.
So this is an Australian plant, right? I think this is a leucodendron.
Yes.
And they get quite large. They get to be about 7 to 8 feet high and the same wide. These are very, very popular for cut flowers. And normally these are imported from Africa. If you go to the LA or any of the cut flower markets, you'll find them there. Isn't that beautiful?
Yes, yeah.
And they start off red, and then they go to this great kind of whitish yellowish color.
That's very pretty.
Yeah.
That's very pretty.
Let me show you one of our brand new programs this way.
Okay.
So we need to go over here. What do you think? This is Meredith McLeod and Gray J.
Okay.
Morgan over here. Yeah.
Going to dinner tonight. Go with Charles. Okay. Still vegetarian.
So Nicholas is going to show us some of their new programs.
So we have a nursery in Oregon, and there's a terrific opportunity in Texas to grow more Oregon plants. We have to learn how some of them do. But some of the plants we grow are Japanese maples. This one is called Sangu Kaku, right? Has a very beautiful red stem that you can see inside here.
Yeah, very pretty.
Isn't that pretty?
Yes,
and then,
very
one of my favorites over here. It is called Takayuki-ema.
Takayuki-ema.
Which is a mountain in Japan, I believe. This is a dissectum variety. So it has this really cool dissectum leaf. You can really see. Nice and red in the early spring. In the summertime, it'll green up a little bit. And then autumn time, when it cools down, it will turn red again. In this part of the world, they need to be in dappled shade. If you have them in the full sun, they'll burn. They like to be in a kind of a rich organic soil.
Okay.
The plant will probably get about 8 feet high and probably about 8 feet wide.
How do you think they would do under the summer, under the Texas heat?
So they need to be, terrific question. This is why they need some shade.
They need to be
Okay.
a little bit on the moist side.
Okay.
And then certainly if they're in the full sun, they'll burn.
Okay.
But Takayuki Ema,
Takayuki Ema. Okay.
easy for me to say, is known to be is more heat tolerant.
Okay.
And
I
like
see.
on other Japanese maples, Bloodgood
Yes.
and also Emperor One are also known to be more heat tolerant.
Okay.
So let me show you a brand new program. We're very excited about this program. And the perennials that you see in front of you, we've got, this is a coreopsis called Ladybird. Very, very handsome plant. This is a group of echinaceas, right? With different colors. There's oranges, there's yellows, etc. These are all part of a program called Goldscapes.
Okay.
Normally, when you go into a garden center, yep, there's the label. Normally, when you go into a garden center, you buy perennials in 4-inch pots or gallons. What we've done is we've chosen perennials, big, large perennials, and we put these into 5-gallon size containers.
Wow.
So the consumer or the landscape contractor or landscape architect, when they spec a boldscape plant, they've almost got a finished plant. And you can see, especially with the echinaceas, terrific for pollinators, and the coreopsis hummingbirds love these. These are also great for cut flowers. So a really big trend in America right now is people cutting the flowers, bringing them indoors on the kitchen table, the dining room table.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Nicholas. By the way, it seems like you have a little bit accent.
I do. I'm originally from England, and yeah. So my bride is American. That's how I came to be in America. And the really interesting thing is that years and years ago, I went to agricultural college. So I was an apprentice. I worked on farms and then went to college as well. And then I moved away from it when I was like 18 years old. I never, ever expected to work in plants again. And so some 30 years ago, 35 years ago, when I came to America, I started working in a garden center. And it's just been terrific meeting people like Mengmeng and then the plants here. So
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. To you, Laura.
All right, Laura, take it away. It's all you.
Okay, so I'm here at Altman Farms, but they are a little camera shy. So I have, fortunately, the fabulous intern of the year, Julia Minter, with me. And I did ask them what they wanted to talk about a little bit. And they said this Susselpinia, which fortunately is one of our Texas superstars. So we like it a lot. They said that's something they would really like to highlight because it's been a great year for it. It really handles the heat well. It's available right now. They've got it in availability and they'd like to see people use more of it. And I agree, it's a great plant for Texas. It really shows off this time of year when it's really hot and dry and you want to see some flowers. It's there for you. So Julia, do you want to say anything to chat with Green Aggies? It's like she's almost done with her internship and she's gonna have to leave us in Tarrant County, but we're super grateful for her this summer. And so you know, you Aggies out there that are in school, being an extension intern is kind of a fun thing to do for the summer. So you might want to give that a thought. We do actually have quite a bit of fun. So Paul, really that's about it. I think we're at about an hour. We've seen a whole lot of the trade show. We've talked to lots of people and it's been fun. And I hope everybody's enjoyed this little glimpse of the floor here in San Antonio.
All righty. Well, thank you, Laura. Thank you, Mengmeng. It has been quite the whirlwind. And
I'm not done yet, Paul.
we got one more stop. All right, Mengmeng, go for it.
I'm not done yet. So I'm here with Greg from Altman Plants.
Oh, goodness.
Greg, go ahead. It's all yours.
All ours? What is
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself first.
I've been selling plants in the industry since 1986. I've been with Altman's for about 4 years now. We're one of the biggest nurseries in the country.
One of or the biggest?
Yes, I believe so. It's been a very wild year, as everybody knows. Pretty much what you were asking, one of the questions was what's selling. Pretty much anything that has a flower or a bloom will sell instantly. And pretty much anything commodity wise is very difficult to get with. right now.
Tell us about the facility that y'all have in Giddens.
The one in Giddings, I'm not sure the acreage in Giddings, but
Because it's keep growing.
yes, yes,
Keep
yes.
growing.
We just I got some additional acreage. The one thing about Giddings is we have one of the first ones in the country. We have a floating solar panel.
Floating solar panel.
That's floating on one of our ponds. It was in one of the recent issues of the TNLA magazine. You can probably get a picture of it.
Okay.
And it's like it's on a 5-acre pond, I believe, and it's all floating, and it helps with evaporation, helps with moss, and it pretty much provides all of our power.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool. What was you also want to know about the difficulties? Because that was one of the questions. Yeah, the difficulties is what's facing all of us growers is the rising cost of plastics and soil and fuel, and actually the logistics of actually getting the materials to the nurseries. That's a big problem for the entire industry.
Okay. You did not mention labor.
Oh, sorry. Yes,
So
labor.
that's not an issue for you.
Labor is very, very hard to come by, very difficult. And that's probably one reason a lot of growers or if anybody's behind schedule, that's probably the main concern is getting labor. So,
What do you think that the industry will look, say, in 5 years?
Since some plants, and especially like big tree growers behind us here, it takes so long for them to grow their products that I foresee the next few years still being just like this year. Very, everybody sells pretty much everything they can grow, and it's so hard for plants to catch up. So
hard for plants to catch up.
yes, so and it's hard for us to
catch up.
To catch up. So next year is going to be
even better.
Next year will be even better and probably harder to find material. It'll probably take 3 to 4 years to see some relief.
Okay.
And an availability back to like before the freeze.
So grab the plant material while you can.
While you can get it.
Okay.
While you can get it.
All right. Anything else you want to tell us?
No, just hope everybody has a good show. Everybody have a good fall, and everybody stay safe.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Greg.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you. All right. That's all. That's a wrap from the field correspondent right here on the show floor. Thank you, Paul.
All right. Well, Mengmeng, thank you very much. And for all of you that tuned in, I want to thank you for joining us. I hope that you enjoyed getting a chance to see what goes on at the Texas Nursery Landscape Association Expo. And we will be back in 2 weeks because it is every other week now with Chat with Green Aggie. So thank you and have a great day.